Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is Mark Maloy with Emerging Revolutionary War with a little surprise live video from Guilford Courthouse Battlefield. As you can see, I'm actually dressed out today for the reenactment of the battle that's actually happening in an adjacent park from the National Military Park. So after the battle today, I decided to come over and check out the actual battlefield. If any of you are near Greensboro, North Carolina, be sure to come out tomorrow. They're going to be doing the battle reenactment at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a great opportunity to see hundreds of guys dressed out in Continental and British uniforms and see them battle over the ground. I'm falling out with the 7th Virginia Regiment of the Continental Line, which we're not at the actual battle, so we're portraying Virginia militia who did fight here at Guilford Courthouse. But I'm coming to you live from the scene of really the fiercest fighting that happened at Guilford Courthouse. I'm standing at the third line here. If you've studied or listened to any of our episodes we've done on Guilford Courthouse, this is where Nathaniel Greene, and here comes a big tree down. Nathaniel Greene and Cornwallis have a massive battle out here. Nathaniel Greene set up his army similar to the way that Dan Morgan set up his army at the Battle of Cowpens, defense in depth. So he had 3 lines he set up. The first 2 lines of comes down a tree. I don't know if you all catch that, but yeah, a tree just came down on the trail here. And it's very cold and it's very windy. Actually, really reminds me. I mean, you have to imagine what it was like for these armies campaigning in the Carolina backcountry through the winter months. Must have been. Just getting a taste of it today, it must have been pretty miserable for these guys campaigning for months on end. But like I said, Greene had set up his army with 3 separate lines. The first 2 lines were filled with militia, and the British kind of forced their way, end up taking lots of casualties along the way. And then here at the third line, Nathaniel Greene had his best troops, some of his best troops, Continental, regulars, Marylanders, Delawares, Virginians, and they're set up on this ridge that I'm actually standing on. If you look behind me, this is, you'll see there's a little stream bed down here. This is the direction the British would have been coming towards. They came through here, and Greene's guys were formed up on this ridge. And some of the, like I said, some of the most brutal fighting happens here when the British come up, the British Guards, and they actually come up and it's bayonet to bayonet, hand-to-hand combat that's occurring all throughout here. William Washington's cavalry comes in, and so there's a lot of action happening up here. While Greene's guys fight bravely, Greene is going to order a withdrawal. He pulls his men back and cedes the ground to the British. So it's technically, this is a British victory. But Nathaniel Greene, the most important thing is he kept his army together, and they're going to move out and leave the ground, but he maintains his army. Cornwallis's army loses more than a quarter of his whole army is lost, and whereas the Americans, when they lose soldiers, they can try and recruit more men or draft more men into the military. The British, they're having a real hard time replacing the losses they have. And they're going to end up going east, and then eventually Cornwallis's army is going to wind up at Yorktown. So although this was a defeat for the Americans, it was sort of an important step on the road to eventual victory for the Americans and ultimate independence. But it's great to be out here on the anniversary weekend. The actual anniversary is on March 15th. If you're looking for a good book or anything to check out, Long, Obstinate, and Bloody is a great look at the battle that happened. If you haven't checked out some of our podcast episodes or YouTube videos, it's actually great driving down here. I listened to our show we did on Battle of Guilford Courthouse with Chris White, the American Battlefield Trust, and Vanessa Smiley, who used to work at the park here. and it's a great way to catch up on the history. But nothing quite beats being out here, to be on the actual ground where it actually happened. And they have some great trails out here that you can actually read about, and tells you exactly where the action happened and how it's changed over the years. Because before they thought the third line was actually forward a little bit, until they found out that it was actually on this ridge. And it's great that we have, the battles. It's one of the things about the battlefield is a lot of people don't realize is how big it is. It's a very large battle, so you can drive throughout many of the locations, and the battle actually happened beyond the bounds of the actual military park. So glad that there are battlefield preservation groups that are working to help save a lot of these fields, so that we can better interpret the stories of the men who fought and died here. But yeah, just wanted to give you a little update of. So thanks for checking in. Like I said, hopefully you all can this year make plans, get out to a battlefield, check out a battle reenactment. Like I said, it's a great way to commemorate and remember what these guys did almost 250 years ago. So check in with us later. We'll talk to you later.